last year, just last year, I did get scammed out of a video on Fiverr. And it sucks because I should have known to not do what I did, but I did what I did. So the title of this video is how to not get scammed on Fiverr. Okay, so there was a potential client who contacted me and actually wanted to get free work. So I'll tell you about that a bit later because I've been a seller on Fiverr for 4 years now. So it is now April 2019. I started on Fiverr in April of 2015. So I know my shit. The first thing I would say in terms of not getting scammed on Fiverr is, as Fiverr has it in the rules, is to not contact people outside of Fiverr. Well, you can make contact with them like on Skype or something if you have to discuss certain things or whatnot like that. It did say something like that in the rules or whatnot. I'm not sure in the TOS, but anyway, first of all, you should definitely not contact people outside of Fiverr. That's the easiest way to not get scammed on Fiverr. For the second one though, you check out their sales. If they have, or not just their sales, but if they're a buyer, check out if they've actually bought things from people. Usually it will say that they're a top buyer or something like that, because usually it's the newer people on the platform that are going to scam you, so they won't be a top buyer. I usually have top buyers that end up buying things from me on Fiverr, so that's great. But usually if they're a newer buyer, then they're probably trying to scam you, because if they want some sample, then it could be a scam, because especially if it's a video sample. So the third thing I would say, which is pretty big, is if you do decide to give them a sample, because they will try to say, well, I need a sample to see what it looks like. For me, I do voiceovers and I do videos. So if it's a voiceover that you have to give them a sample of, put some tag within the voiceover that has you saying something in the background so that they can't just totally take it and be like, oh, well, this is free work. And if it's a video, then put like your logo on it, like put your logo in different spots of the video so that, they can't just be like, oh, well, I can just crop this out and stuff. So do something like that to keep yourself safe, because there are scammers on Fiverr and a lot of people know that. Like they just come on there, they're like, well, I can get free work. And it's interesting because even though I've been a seller on Fiverr for 4 years, just last year, I did get scammed out of a video on Fiverr, and it sucks because I should have known to not do what I did, but I did what I did. They said they needed to see the sample and then they would pay me, and it was like a 30-second video, and I just recorded it with my laptop, just the camera on my laptop, nothing fancy. And then I delivered it. And of course, I never heard from them again. I didn't put a tag or anything on it. There was no specific thing that they could be like, oh, well, I can't use this because it's messed up. If I put something across my chest or something like my name or something like on my face or something, like some tag, then I would have been better to where they could not use it. But because I did not do that, they got free work and I never heard from them again. I did report them to Fiverr as a scammer, but yep, that happened to me once, and that was when I was on Fiverr for like 3 years around that time. So that does suck, but it happened, and it's one of those things where you just got to move forward and be like, okay, well, that's never going to happen to me again, because you now have certain things that you can do so that you won't get scammed on Fiverr. Make sure that you put something in there. And if it's a photo, like also put your tag on there. Like make sure that they cannot just steal it from you. If it's a sample that you're sending them that they want to supposedly see, so that they can't steal it, make sure that you put something on there. That way they cannot take it at all. So now let me tell you about this time recently. This happened like a few days ago. What happened was, so since Fiverr does say that you can actually contact people outside of their platform if you need to know extra information or something like that. It says it's something in the TOS, I can't recall. But regardless, so this person, I went through Skype, because you can't Skype people, because some people have coaching sessions and whatnot on Fiverr like that they're selling. So this potential buyer on Fiverr contacted me through Skype and whatnot, so they could give me extra information. And so the first thing that threw me off was the fact that they're saying that they don't have a camera. You want to Skype me, but you don't have a camera where I can actually see your face. So that was the first red flag right there. So, but I'm going with it. I'm just like, okay, well, that's okay. That doesn't matter to me too much. But another red flag number 2, was the fact that whenever we would talk on Skype, they wanted to make sure that my camera was on so that they could see me, which is like, why would somebody do that, right? But yeah, so I'm still just going with it. And this lasted for a few days and whatnot, because we were communicating and, I said possibly it could be some business there or whatnot. Red flag number 3, which actually should have been red flag number 1, was the fact that this person was saying that they could pay $21,000 for 40 videos. 40 videos. Who would pay $21,000 for 40 videos? And they were supposed to be spokesperson videos, which I charged initially $50 for a 1-minute video. So they were going to pay $21,000 for 40 videos. And I'm like, okay, well, that number's off. But here's the unprofessional part of it, was the fact that they couldn't even break down the simple math to let me know the amount that they would pay me per video. $20,000 for 40 videos, but you can't break down that math to tell me that. And so I'm like, okay. And they were from a different country, like, it was somewhere like India, I think. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still just gonna go with it and whatnot like that. So then they said they wanted a sample. And so I'm like, okay, well, I can do it. It's a green screen video, and it takes me a little bit of time to set it up and whatnot, which thankfully I have the green screen where it's permanently, it will not ever get wrinkled. So it's permanently straightened. That's awesome. But so yeah, I had to record the green screen video for them. So they sent me the script. They said it's not the whole script. This is red flag number, what is it, number 5 or number 4, whatever it is. So they were like, so they had the script and they said, well, this isn't a whole script, this is just half of the script because it's actually 2 pages. So they sent me this whole 1-page long script and they're like, well, I need you to record that. And I'm like, okay, I can tell that this is not at all half of a script, because the bottom line was, if you like my video, like and subscribe to my page, or like and subscribe to my channel. It was for a YouTube video. And so at the bottom it says that, and of course you have to know that that is the entire script right there. It's not cut off. That's not half of a script. So I let them know that. I'm like, okay, I'm not reading a whole page for a sample. And so then on the spot, they cut it in half and they take out some of the middle portions, and then they send me the script again. Of course, it still has a bottom line. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to edit out the green screen because they wanted me to do that as well. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that because they wanted me to add their social media accounts and whatnot like that. They sent me actually this list of social media accounts that were apparently theirs. I guess I believe, because I'm like, they had an initial video of a female that did a spokesperson video for them. And it seemed like, they were adding more content. But regardless, so I was like, okay, well, I'll entertain this. And I kept going. And plus, I felt like I needed to record a green screen video because I hadn't in a while for a client. And so I was like, okay, well, this will get the law of attraction going in my direction. And so I recorded the video, my green screen with my teleprompter and everything like that. And then, so after recording the video, I spliced it. I was smart. I was really smart this time, because what I did was I added those tags. So I had like a tag that said Shantaria, property of Shantaria, like all on the video, so that they couldn't just edit that out. They couldn't just be like, okay, well, let me just crop this video to this point so that I can actually steal this from her. So I sent that over to them, and they took a while to get back to me, which is before they were getting back to me really quickly. They actually got back to me like a day later, and they're like, it's no good. And so I'm like, okay, why is it no good? And they're like, because you have the tags on there, like take that off of there. I can't. And I'm like, if you are a real professional, you want to see a sample of a video that a client has to send to you, a sample, then you're going to accept that, because you can see the quality of the video that they're recording for you. You're not going to want them to take off something that claims that property is theirs unless you want to steal it. And it'd been like 3 days, because the first 2 days I was like, well, I'll record it. But I was like, kind of busy on Monday is my busiest day, and then Tuesday I was like, I don't feel like doing it. So it ended up being Wednesday that I recorded it and whatnot. And so they were like, well, you wasted my time over these days and stuff like that. And it pissed me off because they wasted my time, because I'm like, you really want to steal this video from me, and I should have known it. But I didn't fall for it, thankfully, because I added my intellectual property. I actually put on the screen what it actually looked like in terms of how they couldn't steal it. It just, it just says my name on there so that they could not. And even I had scrolling at the text that said, this property, this belongs to Shanteria Childs. You cannot use it without written consent. And so I just made sure that I safeguarded myself so that they could not steal it, because that happened to me before. So if you want to make sure you don't get scammed on Fiverr, as I have once before, follow those rules or those guidelines to make sure that you do not get scammed. And when people talk about, I had a buyer contact me once that said that they've had scammers, do something to them or whatnot like that. And when I think about being scammed on Fiverr as a buyer, that is harder to do. Why is that? Is because when it comes down to it, as a buyer, your money is put in escrow. So that means Fiverr is holding onto your money. Your money is only released after 3 days after the only 3 days after the audio file or whatever it is, the delivery has been made. 3 days. So you have 3 days to say, oh, I need a revision, or I want a refund. And if you don't within those 3 days say that you need that, then yeah, your money is gone. But you have that 3-day time frame. But beyond that, so I feel like you can't really get scammed on Fiverr as a buyer. You can absolutely get scammed on Fiverr as a seller if you're not paying attention to the fact that people might want to steal your property, your creations, the things that you've made. But there's many ways that you cannot get scammed. So a lot of people are kind of fearful of Fiverr, and they're like, oh, I don't know, it's this $5 platform. But if you actually deliver high quality work and you are really focused on making sure that each client is satisfied, then you can actually raise your prices like I have. And I've been on there for 4 years. I definitely make so much more than just $5 per gig. And so in terms of that, like even with my spokesperson videos, it's like $50 per $50 minimum per video. So it depends on you and what you want to charge, but you have to get better at what it is that you do in your deliveries, and try to make sure that your clients actually leave you positive feedback, because that really matters. So in saying that though, make sure that you do those things that I mentioned. Put tags on your videos, your audio, your pictures and stuff like that, so that people will not steal from you, because you can get scammed on Fiverr. But just be safe and you will be good. But like I said, I was scammed, and this guy almost did it to me again, and thankfully I was able to not allow him to do that, which is great. It was, a bit of a waste of time for me, but that's okay, that happened. And so yeah, I was able to not get scammed twice. So yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to put a thumbs up on the video, and subscribe to my channel, because I will actually be creating more content for freelancers, because I have been a freelancer for 4 years now. It started off rough, but now after 4 years it's really absolutely paying off, and it has been for the past couple of years. So that's fantastic. And any advice that I can give you, any help, if you have any questions, I am always open to answering those questions. It's pretty awesome to work from home, so you might want to try something like that. So yeah, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next time. I hope to see you next time. I appreciate that you watched this video. Thumbs up.